guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. For today's video, I thought we'd take an up-close look at a new building in my collection, the Brick Oven Bakery. This is the latest actual bakery building put out into the Sylvanian families range. If we take a look in the 40th anniversary collection book, we can see it just here. Released in Japan in 2015, and then I think it came to the worldwide range in around about 2016. You can also see the other sets it was marketed to go with. So here's the pizza delivery bike, hot dog van, and some buildings over here. We've got the country clinic, the boutique, pharmacy, doctor, and the teak Persian cats family just there. You can see other sets from the time. We've got the country school just there. And on this side, we can see the village cake shop, the candy wagon, and the fruit wagon. Also over here, we've got the ballet theatre. So this is the time period we're looking at here. This is kind of the last time we saw a proper range of like high street shops. And this is the last actual bakery building we've had in the range to date. In 2020 we got this bakery set. So this is a set that you could set up in different buildings. So it's shown here set up with one of the starter homes. You could also set it up with this picnic wagon, but it didn't come with a building of its own. And you can see that's similar with the cake shop and doctors. They were all to be set up in other buildings rather than having a building of their own, which seems to be the direction that the brand is moving in now. In 2021, we got these bakery accessory sets. So you'll see that these accessories are similar to some of the ones we're going to look at today, but they could be used to kind of supplement other buildings, but again, not a building of their own. The first bakery we got in the range is this one from 1987, and you could attach it to other buildings, but it was a building in its own right. You can see just there all the little accessories that it comes with, breads and cakes and such. Then in 1996, we got this bakery, which I think is the Village Bakery. And this one is really cute. It's got these stairs and a patio that you can either have out the front or on top, or expanding the shop inside. You can also connect it with this building, which is the Woodland Lodge or Large House with the Red Roof. This is a really lovely bakery. I do have this one in my collection. I think it's really lovely older building. And then in 2007, we have one of my favourite buildings in the whole Sylvanian range, the Watermill Bakery. You can see both views of it here. It's got this turning water mill and all these lovely accessories, and just the building is gorgeous shape, colours. Just love everything about this one. And then in 2015, we got the Brick Oven Bakery. So the Brick Oven Bakery comes with the Hedgehog mother. This is Eleanor Bramble. I think the family name was Pickleweed in the Calico Critters range. In the original Sylvanian lore, Eleanor was a tailor, but it seems that her story has been changed to being a baker, or maybe she does both. Maybe she runs the bakery and also loves to make clothes as a kind of hobby. You can see she's got this adorable little uniform on. I love the colours on it. I think I might have shown Eleanor before in an older video, but let's have a look at her again anyway. Yellow, green checks and this cute brown apron. And then she's got this matching headscarf which goes over her really fluffy, lovely, what would be prickles, but they're very soft. She's also got this lovely, happy, smiling face. So the only way to get Eleanor in this outfit was in this box. You could also get her husband, I think his name is Mortimer, in a matching outfit with pizza delivery set, which we just saw in the book. Let's start by taking a quick look at the box, and then we'll have a really good look at the bakery itself. Just pop Eleanor to one side. This is a second-hand item that I got, so I do have the box, but you can see like Eleanor would have been here, but some of the inner packaging has been removed, so it's not sitting quite right. This would be nicely aligned with that window, but the rest of the box is in pretty good condition. So on the front, we've got this nice image showing the inside of the building with all the accessories, and cut there of the vast majority of the bread accessories that come with this set. You can see it's connectable, it has over 50 pieces, and this is an Epoch version. With it being 2015, I think it would have been Epoch here in the UK as well. I don't think this would have hit the Flair range, so their distribution ended at the start of 2013, I think it was. On the top of the box, we can see some cute setup images. So this is what the front of the building looks like. This nice brick oven just here. We've got the back again, this time with the donut store incorporated in as well, which was a separate set. And here we can see Mortimer and his pizza delivery bike, which could also be incorporated into this building and have it as a pizza delivery place as well, which is cool. This side of the box shows everything that comes in the set in the usual kind of flat lay manner. We've got the building, the furniture accessories, Eleanor herself, and then all of the smaller accessories, including the paper and cardboard pieces. On the back of the box, we've got some more cute setup images. So we've got Freya, and I think this might be Saffron Walnut, doing some shopping. We've got Eleanor setting up her trolley with all the things she's freshly baked, including this very impressive looking house. That image again, that image again. A nice one at the outside where the chocolate rabbits have just been shopping. We've got my favourite little greedy bears here. They look like they're buying lots and lots, so I'm not sure that bag's going to hold it all. We've got Creme and Terry here looking at the kind of to-go sandwiches. And then a nice one of Eleanor looking in through the window, but with the way that window's positioned, it looks a little bit like she's in prison, but cute nonetheless. Then on this side of the box, we can see the connecting options. So you can see it's set up here as just kind of a street scene with the boutique and the hot dog van. Then here you can see the boutique can stack on top of it, and I'm presuming other sets can do the same. It can also stack with this cozy cottage starter home, which you can see here, and also from the side connecting it to this red roof house. So lots of connection options if that's how you're wanting to display it. And then on the bottom of the box, it's just the usual warnings and all of that usual stuff. So let's get it out of the box and actually have a look at the building itself. So here we have the front of the building out of the box, and I've also popped Eleanor just in there quickly so you can see the scale. It has a step up, so that's her actual height with the building and down on the path. And we'll just pop her to one side so we can take a really good look. It's got these slats on it with a wood grain effect on them. It's got some windows here. These don't have any acrylic glass in. They're quite narrow windows. It's not a very open shop front, which is interesting. Usually the shop fronts are a little bit more open with a window, but the main feature here is this beautiful chimney for the brick oven that we will see when we turn the building around. But it has this cute clock on it with this wreath detailing. This can actually be removed. There we go. So you can see it's got a stick on it showing the time or a clock. And then it's got this wreath patterning like it's made of bread, which I thought was very cute. And that just clips in there like so. It mirrors the sign, so that's obviously Brick Oven Bakery, but it's got this same kind of bread-esque design around the sign. Nice theming. It's also got a sticker on here, which is a notice board, and it's the schedule of baking. So 8 o'clock we're getting loaves of bread. There'll be fresh baguettes at 10, croissants at 12, and then strawberry danishes at 2 o'clock. And they are today's recommendation. I really love the stickers on these older sets that are so detailed and have just lore woven into them. The door is this really pretty green colour. It's coming out a bit dark on camera, but in real life it's just a lovely kind of grass green colour. It's got this basket of bread embellished into the door and these lovely stems of wheat with a bow. Then here it says it's open 8 AM to 5 PM. And this is in a little slice of bread shape, which again, very cute attention to detail. It's got a little pull handle and it pulls out this way. On this side of the building, we can see that slatting carries round and it's got this orange colour around the top. We have a nice window here. Again, there's no glass in this one, but it's quite wide and you can see in pretty well. It's big enough to pop a Sylvanian in like so. Oops, just knocked the camera. And then we have another notice board here talking about fresh bread and all the different kinds of fresh bread that are available. Hedgehog bread and blueberry danishes and all sorts. On the left-hand side of the building, we have the bakery display shelf. So this does have glass in it. This is acrylic. Again, it's got the wood slatting and the orange carrying around, but this has shelves in it and this will be where we're able to display the bread. Coming around to the back of the building, which is where we're going to spend most of the time, and we'll decorate it as we go along looking at the parts. But the built-in parts, obviously the main feature and the part of the building that the building is named after is this lovely brick oven. So it has a door down here. You can't open this, but this is where you would put in the logs or coal or whatever you're using to heat the oven. Then it says bakery on here, and this is the main oven piece. It's got grid lines all in it, and obviously that opens and closes so you can have the baked goods being cooked. There's a counter here for Eleanor to work at, so it's kind of a windowsill and also a shop counter just here. There's then also a little built-in shelving unit here. On the box they show this as a kind of to-go area with ready-made sandwiches and some butter, milk and stuff that you can buy. And then here on this side you can see the other side of those shelves for where we're going to be able to display some of the bread. Details in here, we've got some paneling around the lower half of the walls, and then the upper walls are just plain. And we've got the other side of the door, but little details I wanted to call out on here. You can see it's got a little push side, so you can just push the door open. And also the little sticker here says thank you, so it's not the same as the other side, it's thanking customers as they're leaving the shop. The Brick Oven Bakery sign is also only one-sided, I think, or it might be that I just don't have the other sticker. I did get this one second hand, but I think it's only one-sided from images I've been looking at. Also, the floor is a nice wood floorboard effect, pretty common for buildings of this time period, but I like the colour on this and I like how it looks with the cream. It just looks nice and foresty and cosy. So that's the building. Now let's have a look at the bigger furniture pieces. So first of all, we've got this piece here. It's got some wood effect here, but otherwise hollow at the back, all a cream colour. This is a tray holder and the tongs can hook on here. We're going to pop this at the entrance just over here, so as people are coming in they can grab a tray and some tongs to get the goods that they would like. We then also have this trolley piece. This is all a kind of black, quite shiny plastic. I'm not the hugest fan of this, like the wheels don't turn, they're not on a bracket or anything, but as a kind of background piece it's fine, but it's definitely not my favourite trolley kind of piece we've ever had in the range. But I'm going to put that next to Eleanor so she's got some room to put things on as they're coming out of the oven. And then the other shop unit piece we have is this one just here. This is one solid piece. And I think this is going to be really versatile in other setups as well, just because of the nature of it. It's got that same kind of wood effect. It's the same colour as we just saw. That carries all the way around. Hollow inside. Then it's got a moulded kind of wooden, almost tray-esque thing. And then some wickery trays moulded in here as well. And this can just go into the middle of the shop to give us a bit more room to display the bread items. This set does also come with a storybook. I've got the English version this time, so I can actually read the storybook without Google Translate, which is very exciting. But it's got some cute images in here of Eleanor running the bakery. Love these storybooks. I think they're a really cute inclusion. I hope they keep doing these. And then we have this whole baggie of small pieces. So let's go through these. First up, we have some display card pieces. These are quite a thick card. They're quite sturdy. These go on some of the shelves just to give them a bit more detail and colour. So this little red one goes in the bottom of the to-go cabinet. And then we have some just to brighten up these shelves over here a little bit. I think those will help the bread kind of pop on those shelves a bit more. We then have 3 little trays. These are all identical, so we'll take a closer look at one. They're kind of a wickery design. These are really nice. I actually really like these. They're very nicely detailed. And things like trays are always great for if you're doing market scenes or any sort of scene where you want just to be able to put goods on something. So these are going to be nice and versatile, not just in this building, but in other ones as well. And they can sit on there ready for the customers to grab a tray and fill it up. To go with those, we have 3 pairs of tongs. Again, they're all identical, so we'll just take a closer look at one. These are a nice silver metallic. They have these scalloped ends, and they are functional if a little bit stiff, but they're just very typical Sylvanian tongs, and they can be hung on here just like this, and then you've got tongs for your trays. You also get 2 little Brick Oven Bakery branded bags. These are just paper bags, but you can open them up like so and pop items in them. They are very cute. I always like when these are included because they're not a necessity, but they do just brighten up a scene a little bit and make it feel a little bit more realistic. There's also 3 cardboard pieces for this one, or foldable boxes. So we have a box of cheese, some butter, and milk. So these could either be for Eleanor to aid her baking, or they can go in the kind of to-go counter for people to pick up some essentials as well as when they're picking up their bread. The details on these are really nice. They've even got like little nutritional charts that you can actually read and barcodes. Such lovely attention to detail. And on the box, these are shown as going in this little to-go cabinet over here. Just like so, and they nicely fill up that top shelf. Then we have a little silver till for Eleanor to be able to ring up the customers. This is hollow on the inside, and it's a pretty standard mould. I think we've seen this kind of mould from Sylvanians before. Nice silver metallic, quite a nice small size, so it can just pop here and not take up too much of Eleanor's counter space. We then have some trays and tins. So this is a tin for a bread loaf. Can go in the oven. It's the same kind of black plastic as this piece. So not my favourite, but definitely not the worst we've seen in the range. There's then also 2 baking trays in the same plastic. These fit perfectly on this little cart as well, which is cool. Here we have the loaf piece that can fit in that pan, so let's pop that in now. This is nicely detailed. The paint job on it is quite nice in that it's got some variations of colour that make it actually look like it's being baked, and it fits in there perfectly. So let's pop that like it's coming out of the oven. I then also have these 2 croissant pieces. These are really nicely detailed. There's a lot of detail on these and it goes all the way around. Again, they've got some variation in colour, but I really love how they've done the pastry on these. They look quite realistic. I'm going to pop them on a tray like they've just come out of the oven and pop that back next to Eleanor, who can be sorting out some stock and also ringing people up at the same time. She's clearly got multitasking down. For the to-go cabinet, we have some more pieces. So here's some ready-made sandwiches. This one's probably cheese and maybe jam. These are quite simple pieces, but they do have some nice pitted detailing on the slices of bread. The fillings are quite simple though. Let's pop those in there. We then also have a couple of bagel pieces. So let's take a look at this one first. This one to me looks like maybe salmon and lettuce. Maybe with some cream cheese as well, that would be really yummy. The detail on this is quite nice. There's some differentiation in colour on the bagel, and the fillings are really quite nicely detailed. We then also have this piece, which is, I guess, kind of like a bun. Got some flour detailing on the top, and again that differentiation in colour. And then this one is chock full of lettuce. I'm sure there's probably some other ingredients in there, but you can kind of leave that up to your imagination. And that just nicely fills up that cabinet over there. If we took these out and maybe put some like little cans of drink in, and maybe some snacky bits like crisps, it could be the equivalent of a Sylvanian meal deal little counter. Let's work on these windows next. So we have, now this cake has a specific kind of name for this kind of pattern, and it goes in a special pan, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. So if you know, pop it down in the comments. but it looks like a chocolate one of them dusted with powdered sugar. That looks really yummy. We also have what looks to be a pie. Quite a flat pie though, or maybe it's kind of a type of bread. The lattice detail on here is really nice, and again it's got that nice differentiation in colour where it's been baked. This bottom shelf is just slightly wider, so you can put some of the bigger things on there, which is great. Here's the strawberry Danish piece that we saw on the sign. This is the recommended item of the day. It looks delicious. The pastry on it looks similarly to the croissant. It's got lots of nice detail on it that make it really look like pastry. The strawberries are nicely detailed, as is the cream. This looks absolutely delicious and is making me rather hungry. We then also have a blueberry Danish as well. Different shape, but just as detailed. These are really lovely pieces, and the blueberries just nicely in the cream there. There's then also this piece. It looks like a flower shape. I'm not exactly sure what it is. To me, it looks like it could be a scone, just from the way it's kind of got this ridge in it, like you could tear it apart and pop some jam and cream in the middle, which looks very tasty. Again, it's got a nice differentiation of colour on it and some divots, and really makes it look quite realistic. Let's see the top shelf now with some slightly smaller bits, but these are really fun. So I think this is meant to be the Seaside Cruiser houseboat. Either way, it is a boat in bread form, and it looks like it's got some chocolate detailing on there as well. I love when the bread is shaped like items or characters. I think that's really fun. So that one looks very nice and yummy. Then keeping on the sea theme, we have a fish-shaped piece of bread. It's got some nice details on it, like the fins, the scales, and his little eye. And again, it's got some pitting on the back and a differentiation in colour. Makes it look quite realistic. And also a whale. This one's really fun. It's got the water coming out of his blow spout, teeth. Again, very nicely detailed. Definitely looks like it's made of bread. Possibly my favourite piece from the entire set is this melon pan in the shape of a little turtle, with the melon pan forming his body, and then he's got little dough head and eyes, and he's just absolutely adorable. We have a Christmas tree, very seasonally appropriate. It's got a star on top, again very nicely detailed. We have this cute strawberry, so you can just about see that there. It's got the strawberry on top and then the little pits as dents in the bread. And last but not least, one of my favourite things to get at a Japanese bakery is a chocolate cornet or chocolate cone. It's like a bready pastry outside with a chocolate syrupy kind of, almost like, not buttercream, but that kind of consistency in the middle. Very delicious. And that'll do us for the windows. Now let's do the display in the centre with the last few pieces. So first up we have this kind of wicker basket piece. It's nicely detailed even on the bottom. Not detailed on the inside, but very nicely detailed on the outside, and it's got a ring around the top as well. And that is to hold these two lovely looking baguette pieces. These are both the same, so we'll just take a look at one closely. You can see it's got the bread consistency here, and then the outer kind of crispy shell looking very nice with its differentiation colour, looks perfectly baked. And these can just pop in here to hold them like so. That's very reminiscent of the Watermill Bakery. More shaped bread, and this one is a little car. I think this is the family cruising car or something like that. It's very cute. It's even got the little wheels. So much detail on the front of it, the window, even the door handles, and on the back the tail lights and the little boot handle. I think this is a really cool piece. Very interesting shape for bread as well, very novelty. And then this piece is magnificent. An absolute architectural marvel in bread. So this is one of the red roof houses. I would call it Willow Hall or Beechwood Hall, but I think it also has another name as well. It's one of those variants, but this house is pretty familiar. Been in the range a long time in slightly different guises. But the level of detail on this is beautiful as well. Look at the roof tiles and the little chimney. Such lovely detail. And it's huge as well. You've eaten that for a very long time. Then we have this bread wreath piece with this cute bunny in the middle. It's got a nice bow on it as well. This is reminiscent of one of the items from the Watermill Bakery, but it's not exactly the same, I did check. Very cute, very fancy again if you're having guests over and you want like a fancy bread kind of centerpiece. We then have this, which to me looks kind of like a leafy laurel of kind of tear and share bread, I would call this. Again, great centerpiece if you're having people over and wanting to have something fancy to share with everyone. And the last four little pieces are all character shaped breads. So first up we have the chocolate rabbit. The pitting on this is nice on the back as well, good amount of detail with these chocolate little accents to show the details on the characters. We have a little cat. Probably a silk cat given the time period. Very cute again, nice chocolate detailing on the markings. We have one of the walnut squirrels. And last but not least, we have this cute hedgehog bread. This is very sweet. I've not seen the hedgehog bread in any other set, I don't think, apart from this one. Of course, it's run by the Hedgehog family, so it would make sense for them to make bread in their own likeness. But I love the smile on this. I think it's very, very cute. And then just a couple of paper pieces to finish. We have these two little signs which say freshly baked on one side and today's special on the other side. These I think are exactly the same as the ones that come with the Watermill Bakery. But great inclusion because you can just pop them on and they make the display just look that little bit more alive because they look like tiny little chalkboards. And that's everything the set comes with as standard. There was also a catalogue included in the box, which I'm presuming is the one that came with the set. It looks like it should be. And you can see here all the pieces from around about 2015, 2016 kind of time. Got the seaside restaurant there. Ice cream shop and all the seaside stuff they were doing. There's the little family saloon car. That's the one I think is the bread is shaped after. School bits and bobs, and then lots of high street stuff. So the boutique, here's the Brick Oven Bakery, of course, the supermarket, the toy shop, sweet shop, and then all of these little food stands. And then on the other side, is it exactly the same? I think it's just the same on both sides, which is interesting. Usually you would have different on both sides, but I suppose it is quite a big leaflet. Looking at that and looking at this set has made me a little bit nostalgic because to me, this set and the ones that were kind of contemporary at the time period are the last sort of the golden era, or what I would call the golden era of Sylvanians, where we were getting lots of really detailed sets, lovely buildings so you could build up this whole village or town. The sets that we get these days are definitely more space saving in that you don't have a building for every single different shop. You can set up lots of different shops in one building, but I do feel like it misses that quintessential idea of Sylvanians that you are building out this little village for your characters to live in. Comparing this set to its predecessor, the Watermill Bakery, you can definitely see that there is a slight decline in kind of the number of pieces you're getting and also the quality of those pieces. However, I still feel like this is a pretty detailed set. You do get quite a lot of accessories and there were options for you to be able to add more accessories to it. If you want to see the Watermill Bakery in detail, I have filmed that and I'll link the video here for you. I'm just going to pop some characters in so we can get an idea of the scale with a few more Sylvanians in. So just taking the camera off the tripod for a minute and showing you in a bit more detail, in a bit more freeform mode. But you can see I've put a few characters in here and there's still plenty of room for everyone to move around, so you could definitely have more. It's a nice size building. There's definitely room to incorporate other sets in here if you wanted to. Definitely room to put a few more racks and things in if you wanted to add more bakery items. But overall, I think this is a really lovely set. Unfortunately, it is discontinued. But since it is a bit more of a recent one, this one might be a bit easier to find than, say, the Watermill Bakery or some of the older bakeries. And I think that brings us to the end of today's video. Let me know what you think about this set down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.